The dinners for four under 20 bucks continues here on Cooking with Styles. This time, we're doing a veggie dish, a crispy tofu stir fry with some jasmine steamed rice and cilantro. Let's get cooking with style. So the first thing I want to show you is the tofu, and you can see how much water is around it. The trick to making it crispy is getting out as much water as possible. So I take the tofu loaf, cut it in half, put it in a hand towel, and then I take another cutting board, I'll put it on top of this, and then on top of this I'm going to put a heavy pot, and that will squeeze out most of the moisture. What you end up with is tofu that looks like this, not wet. The trick to making tofu crispy, which is what we're going to do, is getting the water out. Go ahead and cut this into bite-sized pieces, approximately in quarters that way, and then you can do thirds or quarters this way. I'm going to do quarters all the way across, and then we're going to make our marinade. So there's our nice cubes. I have my marinade right here, super simple, just a little bit of soy, a little bit of canola oil. Whisk that together so it's well incorporated. We'll put the cornstarch on after the tofu marinades. Go ahead and drop that in. Now be gentle with it because it does tend to break apart a little bit. And we'll just put that in there, give it a little swirl. Forgot my spoon, so we'll just use this. Give it a little twirl around and let this marinate for about a half hour. So the tofu has been marinating for about a half hour. Drain off most of the marinade, and now we're just going to sprinkle some cornstarch over the top. This is what's going to make it crispy. So give this a gentle little toss to try to cover everything as best as you can, and it'll look like it's not getting covered because the cornstarch starts to be absorbed into the marinade that's on there, but that's okay, it's getting coated. We'll put this on a pan, a baking sheet as it were. We're not going to worry about that excess. We'll spread this apart and pop it in a 425-degree oven for about 20 minutes, but I'll turn them in 10 minutes to make sure they get crispy. All right, let's give the tofu a look, and it's getting nice and crispy. We'll give it a little toss like so, and pop it back in the oven. Since we don't have a wok stove, we have to improvise. So your pan has got to be super, super hot. We're putting in about two tablespoons of canola oil, and in first goes the carrots. These are the roughest and toughest of the pieces, and we're going to saute these for about 30 seconds. Next goes in the onions. And these again, just like 30 seconds, as hot as your pan can be. Now for two things, we're going to put in our red bell peppers and broccoli, the little flowerets. Toss this around for just another 30 seconds to a minute. All right, let's get the bok choy in there and our garlic. There's the bok choy ends. I'm saving the leaves for the end. Also will go in our snow peas, and I'm going to hold the scallions or green onions back to the end. All right, let's get the scallions in, the green onions, the bok choy leaves. I'm going to put in my fresh ginger and my tofu. All those little bits and pieces are good. Give this a quick little toss to open up all the fragrances, and then we're almost done. All right, now it's time for our sauce. Make sure you give it a good whisk to get all that cornstarch that's in there. This will turn over pretty quick. By the time we walk over to the stove, it will set up. Let's head over there. All right, family style. There we go. Oh, look at that. How beautiful does that look? All right. We'll finish it off with some scallions over the top. For our rice, which I've already got steamed, you can see it's steaming hot. Some fresh cilantro over the top of that. So this one really came in under 20 bucks. We're talking about veggie stir fry with some crispy tofu, steamed jasmine rice. I mean, look at this list. This is really a great meal. And if you want to substitute the tofu for chicken, go for it. But this under 20 buck dinner is available on our website. The recipe, go to cbs8.com/recipes. Enjoy.